This is the network service of the NTA.
Hello and welcome to Health Options, the program that not only tracks government's policies on health, but helps you to make informed choices about your health. It's nice to have you join us on the program. I am Rabi Abdullah. In continuation of our expose on light or phototherapy, we shall bring you the benefits of light therapy in disease conditions, as well as clear the misconceptions around it.
Curious about how government policies on healthcare are faring? Do you enjoy learning about wellness concept and the many options available? Then watch Health Options on the NTA.
Mr. President has led by example. Take the COVID-19 vaccine.
Somebody can say, hey, I woke up this morning, I felt some tingling in my hand, some weakness, my face was, I couldn't speak well. That's a warning stroke, and it shouldn't be ignored.
The carrots contains carotene. Tomatoes is a colored plant. It has carotene. Pepper has carotene.
50% of our diet should be green vegetables and fruits.
Join leading experts on both orthodox and alternative medicine for all the enlightenment you need for a healthier you.
Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Rabi Abdullah. If you are just joining us, this is Health Options, and we shall enlighten you on the benefits of light therapy in disease conditions, as well as clear some misconceptions in continuation of our expose on the treatment option. So, integrative medicine expert Dr. John Tor Agbide is once again in the studio with me to share his wealth of knowledge on the issue with us. Good to see you again, Doc.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Rabi,
yeah. So this is second and concluding part of our discussion on light or phototherapy, as you might want to call it. So without wasting much of time, maybe just do a short recap on what phototherapy it's all about for the benefits of those who probably missed out on the first part of this discussion. Just a quick recap.
Yeah,
what
phototherapy is just like the word means, photo means light and therapy means, treatment. So you're using light to treat, disease condition, or you are using light to derive wellness and well-being. And it is just that. It is really very important that light can be used. When you talk about using light in treatment of, disease or for well-being, people would really wonder, because this is not really one of those common areas that you often, hear. But I'm going to tell you one thing, there are about 50 different nutritional factors that are responsible for our health. If I mention minerals, yes, all the minerals that we need. If I mention vitamins, all the vitamins that we need. Even oxygen, the importance of vitamins. But that of light, because we get it every day, we take it for granted. People think that light is just meant for you to see. But light today, it has formed a branch of medicine known as, phototherapy or photomedicine. It is really very important. And this is not really new. Phototherapy had been used over decades, centuries in the Greek, and in the Roman empires. They've been using this. So it is not that, we've discovered something new. But unfortunately, some of these functional modalities were actually neglected, and we have modern medicine that came in. Although it came in great, but it kind of overshadowed some of these things that are really natural. So they are coming back. So today you have light therapy, you have hydrotherapy, you have gaseous, therapy. Medicine is actually changing. You have lifestyle medicine and then a lot of them. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure viewers are eager to have you, delve into those ailments. Let's just get down to the nitty-gritty of the benefits and what ailments should we be looking at.
Okay. Maybe for the purpose of our discussions and then to get us focused, let's once again revisit what you call the bioactive sources of light. There are 5 sources of light. Each of these sources, you will see that it has its own benefit when used. Let's start with number 1, which is known as the UV light. That is the one that comes from the sun. As we all know, we always lay this emphasis that we need the light, sun's light, to actually, for the skin or the body to make a vitamin D. Vitamin D is really very important in our body. How is vitamin D, produced? Vitamin D is produced from cholesterol. So you see that if you are exposing yourself to light, UV light, cholesterol will not even accumulate in your body because it is being used to form vitamin D, which is really very important. Most of these people with what you call hypercholesteremia are those that have sedentary life. They are always staying indoors. They don't move about. You see, they get obese, they get overweight. But I'm here to tell you that cholesterol is what produces vitamin D. And vitamin D has over hundreds of functions in the body, so vital for us.
Are you saying that exposure to light could bring down one's cholesterol level?
You have caught ahead of me. Correct.
Really?
That's right. Yes. Yes. Because look at it empirically. Vitamin D is produced from cholesterol. So you cannot have accumulated cholesterol if it is being converted to vitamin D, which has so many health benefits to you. So you have a a two-front edge sword here. You are benefiting from not having accumulated cholesterol in your body, as well as producing essential metabolite that the body needs, vitamin D.
All thanks to light.
All thanks to light, UV light, yes.
UV light from the sun.
Yeah, from the sun.
Wow.
And again, the second thing that we must also not negate is the fact that UV light from the sun, that's the basis of light, because this is where when the UV light comes and they hit, the plants now manufacture food, or in the form known as, in the process known as photosynthesis. That is the food that we human beings also eat and animals also use. So you are saying that without light, that UV light, the plants cannot, the green part of the plant cannot manufacture, carbohydrates, which we all feed upon.
That's the chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. Yeah, chlorophyll is that pigment. That is what actually utilizes the UV light in the process of photosynthesis. Yeah, you still remember your biology. So
class.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Good.
So I know a couple of ailments like cancer, vitiligo. I've had experts.
Yeah, we're really coming to that. We've discussed UV light. So another bioactive source of life is what we call the blue light. Blue light, as I mentioned, should not be exposed. We should not expose ourselves to blue light in the night, because it's called melatonin.
We've touched on that in our discussion. So maybe we should just
we have blue light. Then you have infrared light, or you have the red light. In the infrared, you have the short and then the far. Yeah. So let's now just go into specific diseases.
Yes.
You talk about cancer. Light or phototherapy is used in treatment of cancer, specifically melanoma. It is really very important in treatment of melanoma.
Which one is melanoma?
Melanoma is actually, you see, the melanin is that black pigment that gives us, we black people, our dark, skin.
Dark skin.
Because we're created to live in the tropics where there's direct sunlight. So God gave us our skin that produces, melanin from what you call the melanin that is produced by melanocytes. Those are the cells that actually produce, melanin that protects us from UV light, from damaging us. Okay. So we will talk about, okay, UV light. Then let's look at about the red light.
No. Let me take you back to the issue of cancer now.
Yo.
Like the albinos, I was made to understand that shouldn't get exposed to sunlight.
And we know why.
Pigmentation.
Yeah, because the light, that melanin.
Cancer of the skin.
That's
and all
right.
of that. So how do you reconcile that?
Well, you see, the truth is that from research all over the world, contrary to what people believe, that light actually causes, cancer of the skin. No. They have actually done some studies, in Norway, where you have this melanoma, which is actually the cancer of the skin. There are more incidents or cases of melanoma in Norway than you have in Africa. Same thing with Japan. So there is no direct association between light exposure to cancer formation. What we know, when you're exposed to excessive amount of light, then it could lead to skin burn, especially those who have a lighter skin color because they don't have high concentrated or high amount of melanin.
Like the albinos.
Right? Yes, like the albinos. Okay. But you cannot make the direct association between the amount of light they are exposed to with cancer causing. They would have a skin condition or skin problem or skin burn because they lack the melanin that protects them. So when they are exposed to excessive amount of light, because they lack that melanin, then it causes damage to the skin. So it is not necessarily cancer of the skin.
Okay,
no.
But they shouldn't be
skin
exposed
cancer.
to excess.
No, they shouldn't. Okay. They shouldn't because they don't have the melanin. So if they do expose, they see the effect. You see that the skin, damages. They have skin burns.
Okay. So what other diseases now can we touch on?
Well, let's also look at there is a disease, especially in infants, known as when infants are born and then they have this pigment, which is they call bilirubin, that causes jaundice. So you will see that babies that are born jaundice like that because of the high amount of bilirubin, a condition known as hyperbilirubinemia. Then you expose them to this blue light that breaks down that pigment. That is how you treat that conditions.
Okay.
Yes. Then other conditions includes even depression. Before even I talk about the depression, Rabbi, you know what? The main difference between us and the Caucasians, where you see an African can just get up and get excited and start dancing, is because we live in the tropics, and then the amount of light that comes into us is high. It produces high amount of energy in us. That's why the black man is always excited. Before, and I'm not saying this out of some kind of contentions, but before you get a white man excited the way blacks easily get excited, he must be on some drugs or some other substances. Wow. But I can start dancing right here because that energy is really inherent in me, and that is what comes from the sun. Wow. Because the light energy from the sun, the UV light from the sun, or even the red light that I can be exposed to, but specifically the UV light goes into the part of our cell known as the mitochondria, and then hits the mitochondria to produce enough energy in the form of ADC, adenosine triphosphate, and that is the energy currency. Wow. So the black man, and some of these modalities we talk about, like Undermed and the rest of them, because they are a source of light treatment. We've come to see that black people respond to Undermed faster or even better than the white folks. That's
the German technology.
The German technology that we use for diagnosis and treatment of diseases. Then other conditions that I must not forget to mention is a disease, is also a dermatological condition known as vitiligo.
Okay, that's that part. I see people
patchy this in. I have. Yes. Because there has been some kind of disorder in our immune system. The melanocytes that produces melanin is actually destroyed. So you have these people with patchy skin because they lack melanin. Yes. Discoloration.
Yes.
Phototherapy is used in treatment of vitiligo. Okay. Another condition, skin condition that you can use photolight to treat is what we call psoriasis. Psoriasis basically is a condition where the body cells, especially the immune system, now recognizes its own cell or the cells of the body as foreign, and then start fighting them. And the best way to do that is also you try to do what we call you impede or you treat and impede the immune system from overreacting and recognizing it, the body cells as being, foreign. So psoriasis can be treated with, like this. And then I've mentioned depression. Then you have cases of, dental problems.
Oh, really?
Yes. Light phototherapy can be used in treatment of, dental problems. It is very, very effective. Things like you talk about dental conditions that, gum disease and then periodontal diseases. Yes, they're effectively treated with, light or phototherapy.
Wow.
Yes.
There's so much more to talk about on light or phototherapy. But let's take a look at some of the misconceptions around it. Which areas would you want to clear the air around this therapy?
You see, number one is maybe some guys in conventional, most people don't know about it. When you talk about it, they don't want to believe. But today you have several forms. A typical one is what we call this in saunas, the infrared saunas. In Scandinavian countries, that is what they use to actually keep them going, because they have lesser hours of, sunshine. So they use they use this infrared, saunas to actually give them light into the body that gives them energy to take them through bad winters. So we can also see that in light of this, we just have to accept some of these new modalities that were getting new, but they are not new in the other part of the world. Saunas are very popular, and I'm glad even in Abuja now we have centers that now are setting up infrared saunas, and our people are getting more educated. Remember what I told you, to lack of information, you would actually be disformed. And when you get information or knowledge is the best, prescription.
Yeah, as the saying goes, information is knowledge and knowledge is power.
Oh yeah,
and
knowledge is power.
On this program, and what we try to do is to make Nigerians know about the existing interventions. That's why it's called Health Options. So we make them available. You make your informed choices, because if we have experts like you, making available those existing interventions, it's a matter of choice. You go, for whatever you think will work for you.
Yes. Let me chip in here a little bit and then expand further. As I said, light therapy can be used in treatment of, depression, especially older people. They should be brought up in the morning. Don't keep them inside, throughout. That's why home care, nursing facilities are actually advised, and they know this, so that those people who are old, in fact, in our place, we had a man that lived over 100 years, and what they used to do every morning, they will bring him out and then, so that he will get sunshine, especially in the morning, because that is the time that you're getting the real light from the sun. The one you get in the afternoon, you can see it is hot. It is not really good for us. And in general, exposure to sunlight, sunlight increases what you call the microcirculation. The blood vessels get open. Consequently, it can be used as part of management or treatment of, conditions like, hypertension. It can be used in treatment or management of conditions, other cardiovascular diseases like, stroke. Also including also diabetics. All these can be used. Phototherapy, comes in. Yeah.
Wow. So for me, the starting level is to get exposed to the morning sunlight.
Yes. At what time? At the time you come out is really very important.
What time should that be?
Best time to come out, it is when the sun is coming out, directly, and it should be between the hours of 9 to 11 in the morning. Because anything after 12, it starts getting hot. Okay. That one is not really very good for you. So, at least it is recommended that we should enjoy morning sunlight, or what we call reasonable amount of exposure to sunlight for at least 1 hour a day. You will be amazed the health benefits that will be derived.
Doctor,
yes,
I'm interested in knowing
tuberculosis.
No, this has nothing to do, but it's tuberculosis, and we know TB what do you call it now? As
bacterial disease.
Bacterial disease,
Yeah.
is still very much around, and it's an issue. It's one of the, major public health issues that we're still dealing with. Does it have a link with life?
Hajar Rabi, I'm glad you touched on that. And one of the things that really bothers me when I see people mixing or animals grazing freely with people, because animals are the ones that carry this TB to human, but that can be a discussion for another day. But I just want to mention that there's what we call zoonotic disease, and one of them is tuberculosis. But so we should not be in close proximity with animals too much because of that. But let's talk about phototherapy today, which is the topic. Yes, phototherapy can be used in management of TB if you want that to be specific. And why is it so? You see, the UV light is known to be very, very bactericidal and variocidal. So it can be bacteriostatic. It means that UV light can simply means that jargon means UV light can kill bacteria. And that's why you use it in most places. You see them using UV light as a kind of a sanitizer. So by implication, people with Mycobacterium, which is the bacteria that causes tuberculosis, if you expose them to UV light, it will go and kill the bacteria. However, management and treatment of disease is a lot more complex than we simply look at. It involves stimulation and enhancement of the immune system. And you know that UV light definitely enhances the immune system. So apart from killing the bacteria directly, you must be also thinking about, anytime you're treating disease, you must look at enhancing, the immune system. Because with the immune system is able to control and check against any disease or disease. It's when our immune system is compromised that disease overwhelms us. And UV light therapy actually enhances and improves immune system, what we call immunity, which we call immunomodulation. So that's why it can be used in treatment or management of tuberculosis. So
it's all about benefits, no side effects at all?
No, this thing. But honestly, like any other thing in life, too much of everything is really bad. But in general, these are safer methods compared to some of these toxic and noxious, compounds that we use in treatment of, these, disease conditions. Because if you look at it on a relative basis of, risk, light has no such damage as you can compare it with some of this compound that you formulated and you're giving TB, patient. Same thing with things like, oxygen, which we talk about. These are safe modalities, and as time is changing, some of these non-conventional modalities are coming into, healthcare and well-being and disease prevention, as well as disease management and disease reversal.
Wow, it's good to know that the options are just out there.
Out there, yeah.
All the viewers need is
and
information.
This is what you are doing exactly.
Thank you so much, Dr. Toh Abide, for being our guide on this very interesting topic, and I've learned quite a lot, and I'm going to put some of them into practice myself.
Very well. So remember to come out in the morning 1 hour and get your sunlight. You'll be good. You'll be amazed and to see your level of vitamin D.
Wow.
Yeah, as well as cholesterol will not accumulate.
Wow.
Period.
I don't have, my cholesterol level is just what.
Maybe it is because of your lifestyle. You've been living like this so many years ago, and that's why you're really good.
Thank you so much for coming on the program.
My pleasure.
Thank
my
you.
pleasure,
Yeah.
Rabi.
Now, what could make someone set out on a journey and not get to his or her destination?
Extremely
now,
important.
imagine a victim who cannot reach out to these responders, who doesn't even have the phone to reach out. Hello, thank you very much for joining us on platform. I'm Ruth Aguela.
And a girl, especially if the girl is a minor, she's not yet 18 years, if she gets pregnant, realize that church girl is sent out of school and the boy is left in school.
Just park to pick the call.
So how much sensitization is the FRS?
I don't agree. A lot of people are just defiant.
That does it on this week's episode of Health Options. A quick reminder that you can go to our YouTube channel to watch the upload of these and other episodes of the program. Email us for your comments and contributions at healthoptions@nta.gov.ng. I remain yours, Rabi Abdullah. Many thanks for watching. Hope to see you again.